speak to you today of the legend of the twin lions, bravery and courage, holy warriors of Sekhmet. Let the wind carry these words, and let the sand remember them, for what I share now is not merely a tale, but a living memory carved into the bones of time. Before there were pyramids, before the Nile was called by name, before Khamet had breath in her lungs, there were two souls, two fires in the dark, two echoes of the same divine roar. They have been known by many, many names over the centuries. Some call them the twin lions, others say they were the right and left eyes of Sekhmet. But I tell you now what only the spirits dare whisper. One was bravery and the other was courage. They were not born once, they were born many, many times, spiraling through time like sunfire and starlight. Their spirits were ancient, even in the Old Kingdom, but they were there even at the very beginning of the first flame. In the time, before man had words or weapons, the world was not ruled by kings, but by the spirits of nature. Fire walked, wind had eyes, and God still shaped earth with their bare hands. From the womb of the first mother came two, a hunter and a guardian. One ran headlong into danger to protect the tribe. He was known as bravery. The other studied the stars and knew when storms would come. He was called courage. And they lived by instinct, guided by the lioness, goddess of sun and blood, Sekhmet, whose rage was creation and whose mercy was exceedingly rare. Even in their most primal form, the goddess claimed them as her own. She gave them dreams. She gave them sight. And when their flesh perished, she caught their spirits and whispered, "You are not done yet. I will shape you yet again." The Pharaoh's time. Thousands of years passed. The land became Egypt. Kings rose. Pyramids pierced into the heavens. Sekhmet's temples echoed with chants and the scent of myrrh. And into this world of ritual and gold, the twins returned, reborn through the womb of the desert priestess whose prayers reached fire itself. They were named at that time Ra-Heru and Khamet, born during a lunar eclipse that turned the night sky to blood. The priest said it was a sign. The villagers whispered it was an omen. But the high priest of Sekhmet fell to his knees when he saw the lion-shaped birthmark on each of their shoulders. It was the goddess's claw. It was a divine branding. From their earliest days, the twins were inseparable. Ra-Heru, bravery, ran headfirst into danger. At 4, he wrestled the cobra to save a lamb. At 6, he climbed the cliffs of Aswan to rescue a falcon chick. He was strength. He was impulse. He was raging fire. The other, Khamet, courage, was the calmer flame. He listened, he watched, he spoke only when needed, but when he did, even the crocodiles of the Nile would pause in his presence. His courage was not loud, it was profound. He walked into danger not because he feared nothing, but because he understood everything. One was smart, the other was wise. Together, the twins were unstoppable. Training under Sekhmet's eye, they were taken to the temple of Sekhmet at Memphis, where they were trained not merely as warriors but as conduits of divine will. They learned the Ka and the Ba, the secret hymns of flame, the dance of the lioness in battle. They fasted in the desert for 40 nights, each facing their inner beasts. Bravery met his fear of loss, courage faced his fear of failure. But they emerged victorious and changed. Eyes glowing like embers, skin kissed by Ra's own rays. Sekhmet appeared to them in a vision and in flesh. She stood before them with a mane of stars and eyes like twin suns. "You are my claws. You are my roar. You are the balance to my fury. When the hour comes, you will always know." And then she was gone. The darkest hour of Egypt. That hour came when Egypt bled. A plague had swept the land, not of disease, but of despair. The people had forgotten the gods. Chaos gods stirred. A pep rose from the depths of Duat, curling around dreams, poisoning hearts. Crops failed. The Nile slowed. Nightmares stalked the cities. Priests chanted until their tongues bled. But Sekhmet would not answer them. Only two could reach her now, Bravery and Courage. And so the twins journeyed deep into the western desert, to the lost temple of Sekhmet of the stars, carved into obsidian cliffs. There, beneath the sky torn open by comets and storm, they summoned their goddess. But she did not smile. The balance is broken. Apep has fed on fear, and your people have forgotten who they are. You must descend into Duat. You must face him, cut his lies from the heart of Egypt. And so, tasked with this mission, they obeyed, and they did descend into Duat. They entered the land of the dead with no coin, no offering, only faith. Duat was no mere place. It was shifting. It was maddening. It was full of trials, rivers of memory, mountains of shame, spirits that wallowed and wailed in forgotten tongues. But the twins pressed on, guided by Sekhmet's flame that burned in their chests. Bravery faced the trial of impulse, where he saw every reckless act he had done, every life he had ever endangered. He knelt and offered his heart to Mayat. Courage faced the trial of delay, seeing every time he waited too long, doubted too deeply. He stood tall and gave his fear to the winds. In the deepest pit, they found Apep, a writhing serpent made of shadows and whispers, and they fought. It was not a battle of swords but of will, and not a battle of anything but soul. For Apep fed on doubt. Every strike they made had to be fueled by belief. Belief in Sekhmet, in Egypt, in themselves. Mere metal was not enough. Bravery held the beast by its fangs. Courage opened its chest with a blade forged of divine truth. With a final roar, Sekhmet descended, blazing like a second sun, and devoured Apep entirely in flame, bringing that to a close. Return and rise. They awoke in the temple days later, marked with glowing glyphs from head to toe. The high priest wept. The people rejoiced. The Nile surged once more. Crops bloomed where there had been just ash. And all of Egypt knew that the twin lions had saved all of them. They did not ask for reward. They returned to the desert, vanishing like dust on the wind. Some say they were taken up by Sekhmet to become her celestial guardians in heaven. Others say that they wait, reborn in every age, when Egypt or the world will need them most and will need them again. The hidden legacy. But listen closely. This tale is not locked in the past. The spirit of bravery and courage continue to live on, for they can never die. Have you ever met someone who runs towards danger to protect others without a second thought? That is truly bravery. Have you ever met the quiet one who stands firm when others flee, who speaks truth when the cost is high? That is courage. You see, bravery and courage walk among us. Their spirits reborn again and again in each age. Warriors and healers, mothers and leaders, in the fire of protest and the silence of prayer. They were the first to call Sekhmet's name, and they will be the last to forget it. A prophecy yet unfolded. And in the scrolls of the temple of Sekhmet, sealed under a stone lion for 3,000 years, there lies a prophecy. And it reads thusly: In the time of metal chariots and lightning voices, when the black land weeps and the red land rises, the twins shall return. Their eyes shall glow with memory, their hands shall hold fire, and they will remember who they were, and once more they will save the world, not just Egypt, but all who cry out to their lioness mother. So now I ask you, who is listening to this story, when the world trembles, when courage is scarce, when the children cry out and justice sleeps, will you be bravery or will you be courage? Because maybe, just maybe, you are the echo of the twins. Maybe their return manifests in you. And maybe the legend continues on because it is not coming to an end, but it has just begun. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.